Did you see Jimmy Dore put out a thing about how the Brady Bunch did an episode on measles?
No.
What was it?
It was just so funny. They're like, measles are the best. We get off from school, it's the best ever. And it
Oh, really? Just treating it like chickenpox? Like
yeah,
no big
it's
deal?
basically well, it was chickenpox. Basically, at one point, you got chickenpox, and you wanted to get it, and they always said, especially if you're a girl, you want to get chickenpox early.
Why?
Because it had something to do with like.
Made
I
your
think it's
boobs
worse.
bigger?
It's worse if you're older. Is it like?
Yeah,
because that's what I say about chickenpox. It's like shingles, right? If you're older. Yeah.
Well, that's all monkeypox is shingles. But if you like, hey, dude, if you tell everybody you got monkeypox, you're telling us you take it in the ass because it's just shingles. That's all you're
It's
doing.
ass shingles.
It's ass shingles.
Why do they call it that?
If you're getting these diseases, like you're just leaving your house too much, I think.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going? Like, I got measles. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Rolling on the ground of a Walmart? Like, what are you? How are you getting something like that? Like,
Yeah.
that's where it's like maybe phone addictions are good because you just kind of sit at home on your phone. And you're not exposing yourself to all kinds of.
Can we talk about how great, Ben, the videos are that you do, the voiceovers of like the various, like what was it, the Toronto mayor with the snow? I laughed my fucking balls off. I
love
watched
that
that
video.
like 50 times in a row.
Can you find it? Can
there's
you go
so
to
much
his,
snow. I love those. Don't ever stop doing those videos, Ben. It's
But that's why you're
so
great, Ben, because you
funny.
don't give a shit.
Oh, it's so funny.
You really don't give a shit.
I mean, sometimes I'm making those being like, I'm in vain making them. Like, I don't know if I should be, and then I just do it.
It's so funny. The people making the snow, the Italians, hiring Italians, they have job for life.
But it's so funny because you could look at Ben doing that and called racism, and Ali Wong, who I love, she just sold a TV show and won an Emmy for doing a show about how two Asians can't drive. That's literally the whole premise of her TV show that she won an Emmy on is Asians can't drive. She literally pitched that. Two Asians can't drive.
I think the only thing that's like, I think actual racism is literally just like segregation and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't think like making jokes or whatever is like actually
No.
racism at all. I think that
Oh, God.
racism's like, hey, oh yeah, no, you're not allowed in here because of your skin color. That's racist. But if you're like, yeah, you're allowed in, but we're
Is it
gonna
that
say
one
some
right
shit.
there? Is that it?
There's one where she's outside in the snow.
It's
Could it be on
further
Twitter?
down.
I would maybe check Twitter.
It's further down. It's
Oh, there it is.
Yes, yes.
No, that one here. Can we see it?
Good.
So you're over there, there's a road of snow on the ground. There's no good, no good. Oh, I am paying rows of Portuguese and Italian people to remove the snow, and that's a full-time job for the whole ride. Look at that, there's snow all over falling down from the sky. I need to get some of the Indian people who are previously doing the Uber Eats to maybe shovel the snow. Maybe they will pour the curry powder, the turmeric powder on the snow and make it disappear like a sand from a sandcastle. So we're going to do everything we can to make sure the snow removal. This is Toronto. This is city Toronto. This is where all the Chinese people in the world. They want to come here, the rich Chinese, they want to be here so that they can have their children go to school. They can't walk to school with all the snow. So
It's so
That's
funny when
it.
he like runs out of breath but still finishes the sentence. Oh my
Dude,
God.
she's
That can
like-
cure depression.
It's all thanks to her because
Holy shit.
I don't know, like she's actually making all those crazy faces and doing all
Is that how
crazy,
she
like,
really sounds?
she's acting like Hitler all the time.
Oh my God.
Like she wanted to tax water or rain or something like that?
I mean, right now, what I was going to do a video of today is like she's taking away people's ability to get incentives for green vehicles for Tesla specifically, and they're taking down all the American flags in the city that are on like city property or whatever, and all this like crazy shit. So like everybody I typically make fun of like that is like legitimately insane to the point
They
where
deserve it. Yeah.
she's like the first Asian woman that I made fun of was Canada's Dr. Fauci during the pandemic. Her name's Teresa Tam, and I did the same thing with her, but it was a different voice. It was slightly different character. Some talk like this, some talk like that. She was brutal. Like she was like legitimately like what she was. Everything I was making fun of her, she was actually saying. So like, don't go outside. She was doing they were trying to bring in this. Do you remember when they did the anal swab in China?
Yes. Oh my
No
God.
more, not up your nose when you test your asshole. Like, and that was a real thing that they were talking about bringing here and shit. And she was Chinese as fuck.
That's how you get ass shingles.
But it's like, what, okay, the virus is from China, and the woman trying to save us from the virus is from China. Like, and if you mention it, you're racist. That's where I think it gets,
Yep.
that's when it gets really crazy. When it's like people in positions of power, like right now, the new Prime Minister of Canada's
Oh my God.
came out
Carney.
that their daughter is transgender, like heavily, like went to clinics, did all the hormones,
Wow.
did surgeries.
Oh,
And people are like, leave his kids alone. It's like, this is a 20-something-year-old adult.
Yeah, that's an
like
adult.
It's an adult kid. And number one, and number two, that's what they do. They just go, well, they're Asian, so you can't talk about it. Well, they have a trans kid, so you can't mention it. It'll hurt their feelings. What do you mean? They're in a fucking position of power. They dictate how much the taxes are.
You're so
I can't
right,
fucking make
dude.
fun of them for any reason. Any reason I should be able to make fun of them. And having a trans kid is, it's sorry, but it's fucking like it's weird.
I hope the trans kid is Asian, so you'll do a video about them.
It looks like a retarded version of Greta Thunberg, basically.
Oh, so even more retarded.
Jeez, yeah.
But
I was like, wow.
it's this whole thing is like, don't hurt my feelings, but here's a huge opportunity to do it. Like,
Yeah, it makes you crazy. Makes you feel like stifled, like you have to ignore your.
so it's a girl that's acting like a boy.
Boy.
yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
Oh,
so
It's
weird.
an Elliot Pager.
An Elliot Pager.
Looks just like Justin Bieber.
That's just a lesbian. Like so
like Ry- it's like
weird.
a
But
young Ryan
the thing is,
Seacrest.
if you're not allowed to make fun of it, that means there's something wrong
You're
with it. But it's
phobic.
like
No, you're
it's
totally
like,
right. You're
You're
totally
basically
right.
saying, no, don't make fun of them. They couldn't control it. They're retarded, which that person does look retarded. I'm not going to lie.
No, you're totally right.
It takes away the equality. Like, oh, we can't talk about them, can't acknowledge
But
them,
you
can't
can
look at
tee off
them.
on rednecks, right? You
That's
can
a-
tee off on
White
rednecks.
people.
You can tee off on white people.
That's a rising
my whole
down.
thing, dude. It's like it's just like
They're just mad at rednecks because they have homes.
I went to Yale University.
yeah. I mean, you
Wow.
went to Yale. You can get made fun of, and like that looks like, dude. Does that look like some fucking like a picture of somebody who was involved with the Kennedy assassination? Isn't that like the haircut
I mean,
and the style?
no, What
It's
all are they doing?
it's
Like,
it's an old school transgender surgery. They just took a shovel to her face.
so like, does she have no boobs? Like, what's going on? Like, what is the skin in the game here? Is it just a short haircut?
Yeah, you should have to show your chest if you want to. But that should be the table stakes for.
But I love that
trans.
she looks like hey, I'm gonna be a trans and I'm gonna look like
Ugly.
the most Christian nationalist I could look like, right?
She looks more like her dad than Trudeau looked like his dad.
Like, get a beard.
No, that's commitment though. You're changing genders and you look ugly as the other gender. That's real commitment. You know. What
Yeah,
I mean? If you
But
look
it's
worse-
always the most extreme version, right? Like with the trans people.
Well,
like,
I had when I was living in Toronto in early 2024, and there was like this woman crossing the street, and she recognized me because I was in a newspaper article. I was running for mayor, and I dressed up in a pride suit, and she was like, "I thought you were actually pro LGBT. I was sad to find out that it was all a joke or whatever." And then she started telling me that she has 3 kids and they're all gay.
What?
And I was just honest with her. I was with my baby daughter and my dogs, and I just looked at her. I was like, "You realize that's your fault, right?" And she was so offended. She's like, "How dare you?" I'm like, "Well, first of all, why are you offended?
Right.
Because you're proud that they're gay. And number 2, that means that I'm right, and you played a part in making them gay." I was
Yep.
like, "You made
Encouraged
your kids
it.
gay." And I was like, do you not care that you're never going to be a grandparent?" Like, and she was just like so fucking rattled up. But I was pissed. It was,
Well,
I'll
it's
fucking
also
talk to a
that
stranger,
like this notion that like so there's this video of this Christian guy. These guys like to show up on campuses or like wherever there's a bunch of progressives, and they're like Jesus saves, and then they just which is swatting the hornet's nest in these areas, and this trans, I don't even know if he's just gay, super feminine guy with big earrings. And of course, he's like, you can't be racist against white people. I'm like, how convenient is that for you? How lucky are you that the one group you hate with all your passion because you hate your father because he didn't hug you enough is the one group you're allowed to go off on without any social penalty at all? It's like, it's so hilarious how they don't understand how they're getting manipulated at every fucking level. And it's like they just do this mental gymnastics and they just do it. And it gets to this whole thing where it's like, I'm over saving it. I'm not, it's been a while since I'm not trying to save anybody. I love doing these shows because I get to talk to interesting people and I get to learn what the lizard people are up to, and then I don't fall for their psyops. But outside of that, I can't save anybody. And it's just like, they just keep, it's like, if you have prey, right? Let's say you have a bunch of pigs or whatever it is, and you have a pen, and the pigs are in a big open pen. And then slowly but surely, that pen gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Guess what the pigs do? Nothing. They just conform to the pen. And that's humanity. That's Americans right now. They just conform to whatever the pen is, no matter how uncomfortable it is. They don't care.
Yeah, COVID really showed us that. It was very disappointing.
You're just gonna like, if it's a straight line, pigs are just gonna sit in that straight line. They don't fucking care.
It's like Fortnite.
Is it Fortnite?
Oh, the circle keeps getting smaller and smaller.
Oh yeah. Exactly. And nobody cares. And that's why you got to get out of the fucking big cities because they're just full of these. I hate the term NPC, but it really works. They're just fucking retards.
It's like being like 500 pounds and being like, why can't I have fun?
You're totally right.
Your knees hurt.
Because you can't get out. You need a forklift to leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I cut my dick off and I, put tits on and, why can't I meet a boyfriend? It's like, because you're.
Yeah. Why am I not
insane.
happy? I'm taking the wrong hormones for my body.
But it also gets into like this kind of thing where like law enforcement or the government has their like thumb on the competitive balance between everything, right? So like if you say something to a trans, there's places you can get arrested for that. But if a trans says something to you, nothing happens.
Why can't we try this? Why can't we try like gender affirming, but in the other way? Like if someone's like a chick, like, oh, I don't feel particularly female, I don't know, I feel like a tomboy, or I don't know, like, why don't we just be like, I'm not saying like give a young girl implants, but like, I don't know, let's go shopping, let's do shit that's gonna make her feel more like female in the way that works for her. Same thing with dudes. Like if a dude's like, I'm not particularly masculine, I don't know, like, let's fucking get you a new haircut, let's get you some new, like, gender affirm your actual gender.
Here's what we do. We give gay guys Blue Chew and they have to hit a vagina one time. They just have to hit it and then
Just
see how they
just
feel.
to make sure.
Just, hey, dude, feel
Don't knock
this.
it till you try it.
Feel it. Don't knock it. I know you like butt, but you have your felt vagina before. And then see what they have to say. And then you go for that.
How bad could it be?
How bad can it be?
Who's the lady? Is the lady maybe a woman that's
Short-haired.
A woman who wants to be a hero.
Yeah, you get both
Yeah.
over here. You get both.
Very
There are
rarely.
women
And
with
she
egos.
can brag about that in public. How many gays have you turned?
Yeah.
300.
That sounds like a job
Now that's
for
a body count worth
that-
bragging
yeah,
about.
there
Lily
we go.
Phillips and Bonnie Blue. They could be in charge of that.
Yeah, 100%. There's some
How
porn
often
stars.
do you even see a trans person though? Like,
Well,
let's
we're in
be
LA,
honest,
so
like,
Yeah. And
every day.
Yeah,
My
we
buddy
don't
was
really
in
know that.
Seattle. He
Every day?
said they're
Yeah,
everywhere.
I just saw two brightly colored lesbians on my flight over here, but that was it. One of the lesbians.
Were they wearing masks?
No, but yes, they were wearing masks. And
Of
one
course they
one
were.
of them had a shirt that says, everyone watches female sports or something like that. And I was like, what? That's just wrong. Where'd you
Yeah,
get
I
that
would have
shirt?
said, yeah, it's called pornography.
Yeah, waters.
That is the #1 female sport on the planet is porn.
It's very athletic.
I mean, look at what the girls are making on, which I think is a giant lie, by the way.
That pro and what's OnlyFans? D1?
Well, the one on OnlyFans where she's like, I'm making $400,000. I'm making what was it? $50 million, $80 million a year. It's like, no, you're money laundering. They're just sending you that money and you're moving it on to other people.
Who do pretty well on it.
I'm not saying nobody makes money. I'm just saying when you see somebody, some chick who looks like every girl in Miami being like, I made $80 million. You're like, it's money laundering. You're just taking the money and they're just moving it to somewhere else and you get your cut and you get to live a good life. That's all it is. It's
You really believe that, huh?
yeah, 100%.
Hey, if anybody wants to launder money through me, I'm down, bro. Let's do it.
Johnny, I would love to see how much you can make on OnlyFans in a year.
I wear a mask and just jerk off on the camera, and if they want to launder some money, I'd be like the most popular.
They have to
jerk
know
off.
it's you, though. That's the
Whatever.
deal.
A COVID mask?
Johnny Woodard's COVID mask. You wear a Pussy Riot a fucking
Yeah, sure.
mask?
Whatever, dude. Millions? You kidding? Yeah, obviously.
All right, I'm in.
I'm in.
Do it. Do it.
If
But
you're
not with
listening.
your face out?
Yeah, I mean, it's
No,
just more
yeah.
psyops to get
In case
people
I
to
want
be
to run for
whores.
office.
Everything is like that.